Year 2022 pandemic community worship services during the pandemic. The power of us, taken from a sermon preached by Brother Emmanuel White at the Church of Christ at Forest Hill from Acts chapter 2, verse 46 through 47. It takes us to worship our God. It takes us to get through tough spots on the road we trod. When we think we can go alone, that is when we fail. It takes us to make a team and row the boat that sails. If we sing, you'll preach, we pray, we'll give. It takes us to worship God appropriately and not only to live. Together, we are steadfast in fellowship, giving goods and prayers. I need you to uplift me or provide corporate comfort in prayers. How can we be one if we don't focus on us? You are an arm, I'm a leg. Being one in the same is a must. The church, they continued in the doctrine and found time to gather together in sunshine, rain, and even stormy weather. Congregating could not be left out. It was as important as eating and breathing, God's command, no doubt. Nothing at all shall separate us from the love of God in us. No famine, no drought, nor pandemic should we trust. God has appointed a day for each and every one. It may be by car accident, ailment, or a stray bullet from the villain's gun. So we must trust in God and stay together as one. No fear should lead our way because we trust in the Son. Yes, there may be much fear. Yes, there may be much to fear. Yet we are more than conquerors through Him. If we love life for God, let's take our chance. Spread His word in crisis through the tears. Let's dance. God is going to get us through this year and next. In 2023, the news will still broadcast analytics of the pandemic. So, church, let's not forget about us and by so neglect the doctrine. Let's keep the us in worship alive through thick and thin. One of the apostles said, I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of God. And 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 6 says to the preacher, if thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things, thou shalt be a good minister of Jesus Christ, nourished up in the words of faith and of good doctrine, whereunto thou hast attained. Brother Emmanuel White never fails to remind me of such a preacher. When he and the other ministers speak, we all leave with more hope to give God our very best. The power of us provided in worship was an encore from a sermon Brother White delivered on last week at a sister congregation. Even during these dangerous times and the pandemic that is with us, we were reminded of Acts chapter 2 and verse 47 of the church continuing steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine, fellowship, breaking of bread, and in prayers. The pandemic has caused community corporate worship together to suffer even greater than even recreational and occupational gathering together. Great opportunities have been provided as a result of our current times. But just like where good is, we as the church are reminded to be aware of the attack on our faith and faithfulness to God and each other. Brother White reminds us of the power of us, especially in our corporate worship together. There is much to be gained in gathering together, and that is why it has been a part of God's plan. There is much to be lost when there is neglect in gathering together. Thank you, Brother White, for this very encouraging lesson. For this full scope of this sermon, delivered on February 13, 2022, please log into ameenahblogs.net or ameenahkegler.wixsite.com/website, and you will be able to view the full rendering of this sermon. Blessings.